Hey guys, Oblivion here, coming at you with a deck profile on my Frog Monarch deck. Don't know if if I did one already. I kept on saying that I was gonna do one because I uploaded my Lantern Frog deck, and I changed that quite a lot, like, phew, a lot. So I don't know if I should be doing an updated deck profile on that because, I mean, I feel like I just uploaded it. But I mean, I've changed it quite a lot, and I've changed it to a bid that I feel like it runs a lot more consistently and a lot more, and I know some people out there actually take my builds and whatever, and they like take the skeleton form into their own. So I want to give you guys the best possible builds out there. And I know that sometimes my playstyle doesn't suit everyone else's playstyle, and I could perfectly understand that. But that's what's good about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that you can change a lot of stuff and whatnot and make the deck your own. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be my Frog Monarch deck profile. Before I get started, I want to let you guys know that I feel like Frog Monarchs are the complete underdog of the meta because they are just great in every sense. They combat Evil Storms really easily. Evil Storms are one of my easiest matchups. I mean, Prophecies as well are pretty I want to say a pretty 50-50, well, 60-50 matchup because we have our spell canceller here, but I mean they main breaker, and I mean spell canceller is 1800, so that's what fucks it up. Unless you have a gotcha on board, then okay. But yeah, guys. Anyways, let me just get started with the deck profile. I know some people start with the tributes first, but I want to play it cool. Start with the frogs, yeah, because the frogs are the most important part of the deck. So, 3-swap frog. This is your main guy of the deck. I mean, he makes up the deck. You deck thin so much in this deck, it's not even funny. Like, you really do. That's what makes him a really viable deck in any format, in my opinion, because they deck thin so much, so that means you could have a more likely chance of drawing the cards that you need, or like the Monarchs. And yeah, so 3-swap frog, 3-dupe frog. I kind of want to talk about the dupe frog a little bit. I know a lot of people are dropping the dupe frog because they're saying that dupe frog is just way too slow. I mean, basically you set him and he has 2000 defense, which could be a good and bad thing. You kind of just set him and hope that your opponent destroys him with a card effect or something like that. But he is, and if your opponent knows you set the dupe frog, he probably knows that you don't have the swap frog at hand just yet. So he'll probably just let you just kind of like let the dupe frog stay there or whatnot. So I don't know. I know people are remaining 3 Treeborn frog, which I think is just way too overkill, and I don't know. And plus I like the dupe frog for Rodent Totem fodder as well. 2 Treeborn, I feel like you don't need 3 at all, but I think 2 Treeborn is the best in my opinion. 2 Rodent Totem, this is a personal type of mine too. You guys could run it at 1. I mean, in Frog Monarchs, it's okay to run Rodent Totem at 2. I'm sorry, at 1, because I mean you only really need it for Light and Darkness tribute fodder and gachis and XYZs. That's really about it. So you don't really need more than 2 Rodent Totem in a Frog Monarch deck, but I recommend running 2 because I feel like it's, I mean, the best number for me. For me, it is. Now for the tributes, 3 Kaias. He's arguably the best Monarch out there. Don't really like Kaias. I'm not. I don't like him. I mean, I don't think he's the best. 3 Ryza. I mean, Ryza for me is the best. I mean, late game Ryza is killer. Let them top deck fucking their vanilla fucking Saber Swords or some shit like that, and you already know what they're gonna be top decking. I mean, between Ryza and Kaias, I mean, arguably I would prefer knowing what my opponent's gonna draw and make him like top deck shit, you know what I mean? And I know what he's gonna top deck, so if anything I can combat it, then banishing a card on the field and whatnot. By the way, guys, I think that you should, most people would sacrifice and they would usually hit the back row. I would recommend hitting the monster, because if Kaias gets freaking bottomless and you hit a bottomless and you're freaking just, I mean, I don't know. I'm more comfortable hitting the monster unless my opponent's running like 4 traps. You know what I mean? But yeah. So okay, so 3 Kaias, 3 Ryza, 2 Light and Darkness Dragon. You could run 3. I was actually running 3, but I saw this guy way too much, and I know it could never be a bad thing, but I remember one game I opened up 2 Light and Darkness Dragon, a Rodentoden, and fucking MSTs. And I hated that hand so much. I hated that hand. But I don't know. Light and Darkness Dragon could be fluctuated at the perfect number. For many people, it would be like at 2. For me, it's at 2. For many people, it could be at 3, especially in this meta because you just waste so much resources and whatnot, blah blah. But yeah. In place of the third Light and Darkness Dragon, I placed 2 Jinzos. Now this goes to this is a shout out to my buddy Juan. He's the one, he plays Monarchs, he went to YCS and whatnot. He told me, he recommended me, he's like, bro, test out Jinzo at 2. And I mean, it stuck with me. With all the macro flying around, this deck loses to Macrocosmos if you don't get an answer real quick. With Jinzo, I mean, you don't have to worry about Macrocosmos or Bottomless or any of that shit, you know what I mean? It's a really great card in my opinion. I really like Jinzo at 2. I mean, it could be changed again. You could run 3 Light and Darkness Dragon and 1 Jinzo as a tech, but I mean, if you think about it, Macrocosmos is being mained everywhere, and that's something that you just don't want to see in Frog Monarchs, because I mean, you gotta reborn your 3/1 Frog. So 1 Dark Dust Spirit, because it's a staple I feel in Frog Monarchs, and any Monarchs, and we're utilizing the Frog engine. It's a freaking dark hole on crack that you can bring back to your hand. So I cannot believe that this guy is not even semi-limited, but whatever. For the hand traps, 1 Gores, 2 Trap, and 3 Battle Fader. I would like to add in Maxis or Veilers, but I just cannot find the room for them. Guys, I'm being completely honest, I can't find the room for them. For the spells, 3 MST, 3 Econ, 3 Soul Exchange. Now, you guys could run 2 Soul Exchange, but I feel like 3 Soul Exchange is great, just in case you don't have that Treeborn Frog on the field yet. You could always use your opponent's monsters as tribute fodder, so that's always a good thing for me. Now for the 1-for-1s, we're playing Heavy Storm, Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, and Foolish Burial. That's it for the monster lineup. For the side deck, I feel like you know, the most work needed in the deck is the side deck. 3 End of Anubis for the Mermail matchup, Dark World, anything that happens in the grave, basically. 2 Vanity's Fiend. Now this card wins games if you know, your opponent cannot special summon anything, and that's, I mean, a lot of people have a hard time getting over that, but if you're a good player, you kind of tell if your opponent has like a Mirror Force set or a Deep Prison, and you kind of play around that shit, you know what I mean? 2 Spell Canceller, because Spell Canceller is amazing against spellbooks. I mean, by itself it sucks because they main deck Breaker comes out in 1900 and could just beat over it. But with Gachis, it's really good. Goes up to 22, so yeah. 1 Obelisk Tormentor. I was actually debating on I'm still debating on Obelisk Tormentor or Angel 07. Angel 07 is a great card against anything, and Obelisk Tormentor is a great card for anything that targets. So yeah. 1 Twister just for more back row removal. 2 Messenger of Peace, and 2 Overworked, and I'm missing 2 spaces, which I don't know what to fill. The extra deck could be fluctuated by your playstyle or what you own. Really, doesn't really matter. But what I'm running is 3 Gachis, 2 number 96, 2 Tech Gusto Phoenix, 1 C39 Utopia Ray for those econs, and then if you get a Utopia Ray, 1 Herald of the Faithful Light, because you know you could bring back your tribute fodder and whatnot. 2 Gauntlet Launcher, 1 Bouncer, 1 Swordbreaker, an M7, and a Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger. So anyways, guys, that's my Frog Monarch deck profile. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm not really a Frog Monarch deck guy, I'm more of a Sea Lancer guy, but yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. This has been Oblivion. Catch you guys later. Deuces.